Ladies and gentlemen, American German Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. Well, Trump did everything at McDonald's. He worked the fryer, he worked the drive-thru. It was great. And it is so good because his campaign investigated and found out, Kamala Harris said which McDonald's she claimed that she worked. They investigated and she lied. She never worked at that McDonald's. So what Trump did is so symbolic that here he is, 78 years old, working at McDonald's, and he's now worked at a McDonald's longer than Kamala Harris. And he didn't lie about it. See, Kamala Harris is such a phony, fake politician. What the anti-Trumpers don't realize is we all know Trump has his flaws. But he is what he is. He's got credibility because, Trump doesn't say, I'm not really a billionaire, does he? No, he's arrogant about it. But at the same time, he's able to go work in a McDonald's. The disconnect the anti-Trumpers have with reality is so hysterical from a political perspective, from a personal perspective. Trump, this is just another killer move. And, when you're talking, we're about a couple weeks out now from an election, every bit counts. And there's no reversal of how bad Kamala is crashing and burning. And in fact, she's in quicksand because what she's doing is stepping up the negative, same old attacks. I mean, if you see a commercial of them attacking Trump about January 6th, do you not go, seen that, heard that. Threat to democracy. Yeah, right. It was so beautiful. I knew he would. I'm shocked he didn't have his suit on, but he still kept his tie on because that's who he is. He doesn't take off his tie to pander. He wears his red tie all the time.
Open it up. Keep it tight. We got the salt on it. Never touches the human hand.
Very good.
Nice and full.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay.
Wow, that's pretty good.
All right. He appreciate all this order right here.
Thank you.
We'll have you in Bucks County.
I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Mr.
Look at that. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. President.
North Carolina nursing homes still don't have water. Folks, there was some rumors going on around political that they thought that the hurricane might help Kamala Harris because it'll hurt turnout in Western North Carolina. I got to ask you a question. If you were a victim of what happened with Hurricane Helene, and then the response was this horrible, would you more likely or less likely go to the polls to vote for a change? You'd more likely go vote for a change. And that's what's going to happen. And speaking of polls, Trump's going up in all the polls. Statewide polls, national polls, everything. The trend's going. And he's way ahead of where he was with Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. So he's closing well. And not only that, he's working his tail off. And you got people like Elon Musk going out and speaking versus Mark Cuban. Give me a break. Who would you rather have speaking for you, Elon Musk or Mark Cuban? USPS, United States Postal Service, has apparently reached an agreement that includes air conditioning in the trucks. Seems to me like air conditioning in trucks makes sense. Barack Obama took a shot at Colorado trying to support Arizona when he was pandering, and Deion Sanders fired back pretty good. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Deion Sanders is representative of famous blacks in our community that just don't toe the line because of blackness, which is what Barack Obama and the Democrats want. Blacks are independent. Not all of them, but famous blacks have an opportunity to be, free and independent. And it's a beautiful thing when you see people like 50 Cent, Deion Sanders, others people, that don't, they're not going to pander back to a black president. It's beautiful. Trump rally in Pennsylvania was a huge success, and he followed it up with a presence at the New York Jets Steelers game, and the Steelers crowd chanted USA, USA. By the way, the steelworkers have endorsed Trump. Oh my goodness. You know, it's just beautiful, beautiful. And Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, two former great Steelers, endorsed Trump. Home insurance is getting so costly, people don't know where to turn. Harris, you can't make this up. Harris at her rally heard somebody say Jesus is Lord and said, you're at the wrong rally. Wow, these two young kids that shout, you're basically saying, well, we don't want Jesus at our rally. You go to another rally. Oh, what a killer for people of faith. You believe that? You know what she should have said? Jesus is Lord. How come Kamala Harris didn't say, you know what I would have said, Jamie Spindley? Amen.
Amen.
Why wouldn't she just say amen? Instead, she mocked them. North Koreans are in Ukraine fighting for Russia. They're all going to die. Dave Ramsey's endorsed Trump. Another example. He's a media guy. Said, hey, you try to cancel me? Bring it on. A drone hit Netanyahu's house. He defiant said, bring it on, SOBs. Netanyahu's tougher than a pine knot. Doug Emhoff. Bill Maher and others keep questioning how come Doug Emhoff isn't being questioned for his beating up. It's so selective, isn't it? They don't care about Doug Emhoff beating up a girl. No, that's okay. Cuba, the electricity went out. I think it's still out. The whole island of Cuba, out. Man, if I was in Cuba, I'd be escaping Cuba. $1.8 trillion deficit right now. Not debt, deficit. $1.8 trillion deficit. Home Depot's making even executives work on the line so they understand what the hell's going on. That is smart. This is the Bulldog. Do not be a saucy, impudent elfish. I'd give that a C in Shakespearean insult of the day. Coming up next, local news. All right, here's local news. Blink was a great success. My wife went to it on Thursday, said it was amazing. Roger Dodger said it was amazing. Everybody said it was amazing. Yours truly, I just didn't, doesn't interest me. Jamie, did it interest you?
No, I did it once before and it's all right.
Shooting in Newport. Man, there's shootings everywhere. Hope they survive. Kentucky Amendment number 1. Here's what you want to do, folks. You want to vote to make sure those illegal aliens don't vote. Bob Taft, he cracked. He's a criminal. Remember, he pled guilty to a crime. I'm a criminal too. I pled guilty to menacing. But Bob Taft says that he is voting for Kamala Harris. Isn't that amazing? Teacup Republicans, they make me sick. Dayton Stadium is going to be no longer used. The Green Devils are getting a new stadium, thank God. It was the worst stadium in northern Kentucky. I always felt sorry for them. Jesse Herbst is their head coach. Congratulations, Jesse. Enjoy the new stadium. There was an arrest at Holmes where somebody brought in a gun. Of course, we're representing a couple folks down there that were affected by that. There was a shooting at Hollywood Casino where somebody died over in Lawrenceburg. Wow. And Sophia Rosing was sentenced to a couple years in jail. That's nuts.
I agree.
No, that was nuts. Her sentencing, way too harsh. Way too harsh. Hammer Strength is closing. I think this is in Campbell County, isn't it? Pendleton County, your county. A lot of jobs are going to be lost there. What do you think, Sabrina?
I'm worried about my friends.
Your friends work there?
Yep.
All right. We don't have any openings at Eric Deters Media right now. And an alligator was taken from a home in Abetta. By the way, I knew somebody, lived out on Walt Nicholson, had an alligator that was about 10 foot long, living in a rectangular thing in the middle of their freaking house. I mean, who the hell? People are nuts.
This one was 3 feet value.
It's nuts. This is the Bulldog. Coming up next, Jamie Spindley in World News. He still sucks at chess even when he gets lucky and beats me because I'm distracted when he doesn't have any distractions.
Hello everybody, let's see what's going on around the world. The latest headlines. At least 7 people lost their lives after a portion of the Marsh Landing dock on Georgia's Sapelo Island collapsed during an event. Around 20 people fell into the water as the dock gave away. Emergency response teams has transported multiple victims to the hospital, and search and rescue operations are still ongoing. South Korea's intelligence agency reports that North Korea has begun deploying troops to support Russia in the Ukraine conflict. This comes after Ukrainian president mentioned that up to 10,000 North Korean soldiers could join the war based on recent intelligence. In response, South Korean president held a security meeting calling for a global response to this growing matter. At least 73 people, including women and children, have been killed in Israeli airstrikes in northern Gaza, according to local Hamas authorities. Several authorities are injured, with many still trapped under rubble. Israel, while acknowledging the reports, stated that the casualty figures from Hamas are likely inflated. And Britain's King Charles III and Queen Camilla visited Canberra, Australia, making their first trip to the city in nearly a decade. This 6-day visit is King Charles' first official tour of Australia since ascending to the throne in 2022. Notably, it comes after the King's cancer diagnosis earlier this year, making it his first major foreign tour since then. You're up to date on the latest world headlines. Coming up next, Sports Without Boundaries. Have a great day.
All right, Sports Without Boundaries. UC, I know you all care about this game, 24, Arizona State 14, their homecoming. Jay Cutler was arrested for a DUI. Doesn't look very good there. His career's gone downhill in the handbasket since retirement. Bengals versus the Browns. The Bengals kicked the Browns' butt. Sorry, Nick Batista. Baseball World Series is set. It begins Friday. Dodgers versus the Yankees. Man, that's going to be a series involving superstars. I have to admit, I'm looking forward to it. And the Ravens play the Bucks on Monday Night Football. In college football, it was a crazy weekend. My Bama blew it against Tennessee. Notre Dame won, though. Ohio State, I think they had a bye, didn't they? This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Coming up next, pop culture. All right, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was this weekend, and I'm looking forward to watching it. I always do. I fast forward what I don't want to see. I'm looking forward to the Foreigner induction. They said that Kelly Clarkson kicked ass singing Foreigner. Of course, Ozzy Osbourne and Cher were also included, Sammy Hagar. Can you imagine a 3-minute wedding? 3 minutes after this wedding, she divorced him because he called her stupid. I personally think this was planned. Hey, let's get married, let's get divorced, and let's make a big thing. She looks like she could be a lot to handle. Doesn't she? She's got that face. And Julie Chrisley was re-sentenced. She thought she was good. She gets out. Now she's going back in being sentenced for the same amount of time. She got an ugly nose. She can't help it, of course, but she's got an ugly nose. Sorry, Julie. Enjoy your time in prison. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.